Hey everyone, so I'm live. I wanted to do a live Carla's Corner instead of a pre-recorded one, because I have been thinking a lot about things lately that I don't know if it crosses anybody else's mind or if it's just me. Um, and I'm just, coming across as being this grumpy old woman. But um, and hello to that person watching. Feel free to have a chat if you want. I don't bite. um, I just basically wanted to touch on something that has become increasingly um, shoved in our faces, like, and people just accept it because it's progress and that's the way it is. And don't even get me started on that. I'll go into that in a little while. Basically, you'll have to excuse me. I'm chewing on some hard candy. Um, Basically, it. I went into Coles last week. I want to say, and I was complimenting the staff on the. Now, for my American friends, I don't know if you have Coles still over there. My English friends, I don't know if you have Coles over there. I don't know if you guys have self-serve checkouts over there. In either England or in America. But we do over here. And I was complimenting the staff at the front desk, going, "Oh, I really love this." They'd gotten rid of the conveyor belt, and it was just like an old fashioned where you put your groceries down in a little tray area. And it was just such a nice, I had a nice interaction and it was just really, really good. And then I decided, I've got to go back and I've got to grab a couple of things. So I went back. And as I wandered down the aisles to get to where I needed to be to find what I needed, I noticed that they had installed what I thought were other checkouts. And I was like, oh, brilliant. Beauty, like awesome. No, they hadn't. What they'd done is they'd installed new self-serve checkouts with conveyor belts. Now, I'm sorry, but this annoyed me enough that I didn't shop there. I actually walked out and I went to their competition, which over here is Woolworths. At the shopping centre that I'm in. Oh no, I'm eating my hard candy. Anyway, so I got onto Facebook because I went onto their website and I couldn't find anything. And I got into my social media and I said, "Oh, hi. Where do I direct?" Sorry, Suki wants to say hi. Hello. Where do I direct a complaint about the amount of self-serve checkouts versus manned checkouts? I got laughed at by a few people on the page for doing so, but I thought, screw you, I don't care. And then Coles actually got back to me and they said, please let us know which store it was that's of concern. And I said, look, it's not any particular one store. It's in general. I feel that it's terrible that you are implementing these self-serve checkouts, which is taking jobs away from people who desperately need work, okay, who would benefit from this sort of thing. not being in place. And, it's not really helpful to the customer because while you have all these self-serve checkouts, um, that doesn't help, especially, I mean, I didn't add this bit, but I probably should have. Around the silly season when, you have, sorry, I had cat hair. When you have people lining up for Christmas uh, and all that sort of stuff, and there's not enough checkouts and not enough people, which happens every single year, right? I got a message back saying that I shouldn't worry, that they're not actually taking any jobs from anybody by having them in store, because they always require staff to help customers that do not use them. Well, I'm sorry, but every store is different in the way of sizing, and every store is different in layout, right? In the sense of, I went to, like, there's always one at one end and one thing at the other, but it's finding things, right? So you might be used to shopping at one place and then you go to another place, and the setup might be the same in the sense of, they're all, at, you know, one end to the other, but they might be placed in different aisles. So you're not, because, you're not used to shopping there or whatever. But what I am saying is, right, is that they had no right, in my opinion, to just dismiss my complaint, because I know I'm not the only one. I've spoken to people. I've spoken to people who are not happy with self-serve checkouts, right? But people use them thinking, oh yeah, this is new beauty. This is quick. This is easy. Do you know how many times I've gone in? I've gone to put my stuff, because I try not to. I'll be honest, I have used self-serve checkouts, but only if I'm in a rush and the lines are a mile long, right? And I have somewhere to be. Like, only if I'm in a rush, right? 9 times out of 10, I will stand there and I will wait to be served by a human. I like the human interaction. I like the customer service that you get when somebody is actually behind the counter serving you, instead of you just scanning mindlessly and placing things into bags. I hate when big companies, whether it be Woolworths, Coles, uh, who cares? Big W, whatever. I don't care. Big companies, and I don't know what companies you guys have over in America or in England, but for me, big corporations, whether it be supermarkets, whether it be your local hardware store, we've got a hardware store around here that has the same thing, has self-serve checkouts. Our supermarkets, whether it be Aldi's, well, Aldi's doesn't. Aldi's is definitely a person, like a manned checkout, which is amazing. IGA are the same. But for big companies like Big W, Woolworths, our local hardware store, big companies like that, I just feel like they would do better scrapping the whole thing with self-serve checkouts and putting people in, putting back checkouts. Now, I will also say, get rid of the conveyor belts. It's lazy. It's lazy. So is the self-serve checkouts. They are lazy, lazy, lazy. Get your groceries, put it on there, and when the checkout person reaches a point where they can't reach your food or groceries or whatever it is that you bought, move them along. It's what we had to do growing up. What's the difference now? And I'm telling you this because what happens when there's a power outage or when the machines have a malfunction, what do people do? They rely on people. It's the same with this whole, QR code for everything, right? Not just for this pandemic or whatever, but for everything, for sales, for liking things on social media, for getting discounts on things. What happens when your phone malfunctions? If this thing didn't have internet, I wouldn't be able to do it, right? Why, in my opinion, why is it that people think that we need these? Do you know what I've done? I'll show you what I've done for the day. I've actually turned off my internet and my mobile data. And I do that regularly because I find that I spend a lot of time on the internet. Currently, I am using my laptop to speak to you all. Once I've done this live, I'll probably get out and do some gardening and some housework so that I'm not on this thing completely. But I had to do vocal lessons today. And so I've been using my laptop. My point is this, though. We rely too much on technology. And technology is putting people out of business. And I say this because, well, when I say putting people out of business, I mean employees. They're taking away the human element. And I tell you why. You look at the amount of businesses that have had to close because of competition with online shopping. Do I online shop? Yes, but very rarely. Why? Let me tell you why. I would prefer to go to a thrift store, as you call it in America. I would rather go to a thrift store and buy clothes, pre-loved clothes, get them home, wash them, whatever, and wear them. All right? I would rather do that or go into a store like maybe Big W or maybe Kmart or Target or somewhere like that, right? That has actual people serving you, where you don't have to pay for delivery. Because I also know that realistically, if ever the power goes down or if ever there is a hiccup with online purchasing, or say there's a problem with payment or whatever to do with the site, not so much anything else but the site, or if there's other problems which technology has, I know that I have it covered by actually going into store. That's what I would rather do. I also wanted to touch on another thing which I've gotten into. This isn't necessarily to do with Carla's Corner or venting, but I wanted to kind of touch on this because I found it really, really interesting. I was watching a video today, and I guess it kind of does tie in, now thinking about it, I guess it kind of does tie in with what I'm going on about. But I was watching this video and it was talking about the person in the video was talking about how funny it is to her that because she lives in a rural property, right? She's on YouTube. Her name is the Cottage Fairy, I do believe. She's amazing. I love watching her videos. Her voice is so calming. But she was talking about how funny it is because she's not surrounded by the city. She's not surrounded by shopping centers and shops and all that sort of thing. She doesn't feel the need to go out and spend money as much. She doesn't feel the need to have to spend money left, right, and center, right? And it's always really exciting to her when she gets to go into the city, and then she gets to stock up on things that she might need. But that resonated with me so much, and I tell you why. If you're still with me, I tell you why. The reason is because growing up where I used to live, like when I was a kid, growing up where I used to live at, in a place not very far from where I am now, actually, I remember so vividly that we had to make a day trip into town. If we wanted anything, we would make a day of it. You know, Mum would take my brother and I out, have lunch, we'd get our grocery shopping done, we would see my grandparents. Like, we would make a day of being in town, right? In what we thought was, it wasn't the city, because the city where we live is like an hour away. So it wasn't really like that, but it was like a mini city. It was like a little town, you know. It still is a little town, but the shopping center there was like our main hub because we didn't really have anything, right? So we would make a day of it. Now they're making another clearing for another shopping center that they don't need. And it's just a waste of money, a waste of nature, because they're destroying animals' natural habitats, things that are not necessary. And I remember feeling back then just so happy and so excited to go into town. And it's funny because where my husband and I are, we are surrounded by city things. So shops, petrol stations, places that you can spend money, right? I think as a society have gotten lazy. I think we as a society have gotten too clever for our boots. And I think that we have forgotten that we don't really need a lot. It's everything that we have is a want. Now, I'll give you a good example. I love going thrift shopping. Love it. I know that we don't have that much money left over because we went and spent a bit of dosh on food at a farmer's market, which is about an hour or so from us. But the food is amazing. It was well worth the money. I'm telling you now, it was worth the money for fresh produce, fresh food. It was amazing. And I have actually said to my husband, I want to do like a 3-month shop, right? Where we spend X amount of dollars, get what we need for fresh produce and stuff, and come here, get maybe, come back home, go to the shopping center around the corner from us and get Suki some food, stuff for her that they don't stock down there, right? and any little thing that they don't have down there that we might have up here, right? I can tell you, for what we spent down there, we got our money's worth. Come up here and spend a little less, not by much, but a little less, and we got bugger all. Now, I'll tell you something. When we were down that way, I didn't feel inclined on getting a lot. I mean, we did get a lot, but that was because my husband and I were both shopping and he started without me. But for what we got, that'll last us quite a fair while. And it's all healthy stuff. If we were here at the shopping centre around the corner from us and we went to one of the supermarkets in the shopping centre that we have, it wouldn't be healthy. It would be very, very, very unhealthy. And the weight that I am now, which is 90.3 kilos, you guys, I've put on a lot of weight and I'm trying to lose it, hence the food shop down at the farmer's market. If we shopped up here, I would be weighing more. But my point is this, I wanted to go, because we spent quite a fair bit down there, and again, when we got up here, and I know I don't have a lot of money left, I wanted to go down to a thrift shop down the road from where I live and see if they had any old jars, any old, bottles, anything like that I can decorate and give as gifts. Maybe even see if they have anything in green in way of, jackets or shirts or, scarves, anything like that. But I said to myself, no, I don't have a whole lot of money left. It's better if I go when I get paid, because I'll have more money to play around with and I will be able to see things that I like and buy them with confidence, knowing that I'm not going to send myself short. Like if I would have this week, I would have gone down just for the walk and just to have a look, but I knew in myself that I would want to spend, because it is around an area that is so busy with shops that I would spend more money. And so I decided to give it a miss. I am at home. I am quite okay with not going out now. And yeah. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. And I totally understand where she's coming from, because if you don't surround yourself with city things like shopping centers and things that you need money for, like I only have like these little bits left now. Like we're trying to grow our own tomatoes, our own capsicums, our own strawberries. We're also trying to grow some calendula, some chamomile. And I do want to get a citrus tree for our backyard, a couple of citrus trees for our backyard. And I've got some avocados here that I bought from the supermarket around the corner from ours yesterday. And I'm going to get the seed and I'm going to actually put it in a pot. I'm going to see if I can grow it from the seed to an actual tree. I'm not sure if I can, because I've tried it before, but never got anywhere. But who knows, I might get lucky and it might work this time. So I am trying to grow my own fruits, my own vegetables. I am very much of the opinion that we are relying too much on machines. We need to get back to nature. We need to get back to simplicity. I saw something on one of my social medias that said living simply is not a step backwards. Where are the old boutiques, the old general stores? Gone. Because we got greedy. And then we got cocky and lazy and decided, let's have machines do everything for us with conveyor belts. And then we said, why should we serve the people? They can serve themselves. Humans need interaction. Humans need people skills. That's it, you guys. That's my rant for the day. Let me know in the comments what you thought about what I said about big corporations, supermarkets, and hardware stores and things like that with the self-serve checkouts. Let me know if you like the self-serve checkouts or if you would prefer it if they had more manned checkouts and you had a bit more of the more personable interaction with people. Let me know, you guys. Have a good day or night wherever you are. Bye.